back. Turn it on.
Oh, this here?
It's a button
There you go.
there.
You good.
I didn't turn it on.
It's green. Oh, the button here.
Yeah.
Speaker button. You should say speaker,
Yeah.
man. What are you talking about?
Okay, here we go.
Here we go.
Gotta turn it down. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. There you go, there you go. Okay. All right, here we go. Let me start it. Broadcast. Record. All right, here we go. The Queen Mother Lois show starting. Queen Mother Lois. In LA, Los Angeles, California. How are you, California people? You know it's hot out here, and back east is, oh man, it's storming out there. We just was talking to DNA and Andy Lee and them out there in New York City. That's right, on the show that just went off. Okay, now we're gonna start a little bit. We'll put some music on for a minute, and then we're gonna start the show. All right, just a little bit of intermission music, and...
The house, 2004, let you know what's going on.
Okay. Greetings to our listeners in America and in Europe and in Africa. So we have some listeners over in
the UK. The UK we have in out in
the UK is Ukraine.
Ukraine. Okay, we have in
Africa,
and we have
what
it
part of
in
Africa?
the other one. I'm trying to think of the name of it. I have my notes.
Is it Nigeria?
Nigeria.
Mm-hmm.
We have Nigeria. You have
it's two places.
Nigeria, and it's other one's called
Uganda.
Uganda, right?
Okay.
And then we have one in Germany.
Oh, okay. The Germans are new one then.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So so we going across the world.
The world, that's
yeah.
right. Going across the world, and it's Black History Month, so we're gonna be doing some Black history, let you understand what's going on in the world and how Black history started, or to let you know all this month about Black history. Yeah, so we're gonna be doing.
Okay, so greetings to our people in the United States. We got New York, we got the Carolinas, we got Texas, both parts of Carolinas and Shreveport, Louisiana.
Right. And we got Kansas City.
Kansas City.
We have it's happening Kentucky today.
Okay.
Yeah, Kentucky. So we're getting out there. People is going around. And who else we have? I have another person that sent me something too. Let me open it up and tell you who it is.
You know what's important is when we have this lecture, I would like for you to have your tablets or your computer ready, and also have a paper for notes where you can check out this information, because I'm just giving it to you, but I want you to check it out. Know that you know it's just not hearsay from one person. You need to validate anything that I say.
That's
need
true.
To validate it.
Right, they gotta do that. And another one, we have Kingston County in Kentucky.
Yes.
Yeah, that's another person. And let's see, one more. Let's see, that's who the guy was from. This guy was from, this one is an international artist. Well, that's Germany. You said Germany. And we have.
So he said he's listening to the show?
Yeah, in
Okay.
Germany. And another one from, this is a hard name.
How do you spell it?
It's in Africa. They live in PHEPA village at the MFUNDISWENI location.
Yeah. I know a place in Africa called Pretoria, because I watch the church services. It's in South Africa. Not too far from Johannesburg.
Okay.
The flies.
Yeah, one fly.
It's on you for a minute. Okay, the question is, why it took a century to pass an anti-lynching law. A century of political organizing could not overcome a powerful tool of white supremacy until now. On December the 19th, the Senate unanimously passed legislation crime.
Oh, they passed it.
Yeah, but look what year it is. It was 2019,
Right.
and it just slavery is supposed to have been over since 1865,
Right.
and they take it's 200 years, isn't it?
Yeah.
To pass an anti-lynching law. This don't make any sense. On December the 19th, the Senate unanimously passed legislation that made lynching a federal crime, proposed by Senator Coral Booker, Kamala D. Harris, and Tim Scott. The Justice for Lynching Act classifies lynching the ultimate expression of racism in the United States. Finding the bill states that at least 4,742, mostly African Americans, were lynched in the United States between 1882 and 1968. And we have had a lot of lynching since then, because some of those people that was into you know about the black thing, what was it called? They had this past year. Black, let me see, it's not Me Too, it's the other one.
Oh, black, the one with the,
It's called Black something, Black Dog. How come
well,
we forget that?
anybody that knows
The word we're trying to
the
say.
word we're trying to say, just call on in.
Yeah.
And the number we have is
Or
909 352-0037, or you
Or text us.
Text us on Facebook.
Yeah. Because some of those guys who was involved with that, they have been lynched. They have been found hanging from a tree.
Oh.
And they say they committed suicide. That's what the police, the popo say. These people committed suicide. But then they have no place where they jumped off of a chair or something.
Right.
They were just found hanging by themselves. So you can't hang yourself unless you stand on something first.
That's true.
So several people involved with that. Somebody's gonna think of the word we're trying to say, the motto
Right.
for the black thing, because the people said it was about nobody else. But you could say it counts. I can't think of the word. You're not saying just us don't count, but all of us. You know.
Right. I know you're
Yeah.
saying it's black. I got it.
It's
Black lives matter.
yeah, Black Lives
Yeah,
Matter.
there you go.
Yeah.
Black lives.
Black Lives Matter, and if they had said Black Lives Matter too, that would have took all the mess off. You know what I'm saying? But they thought we were just talking about only we matter.
Right.
So Nate, you got a price tag on your jacket?
Oh no, this
Okay.
a ticket.
Okay, so we got our matching jackets on because
Right.
it's So I have on the knickers, huh?
Yeah, Knicks. I got the Knicks. I got the Mets jacket.
You got the Mets.
Yeah.
Okay, you a diehard Mets fan. And they say for more than a century, Southern resistance and Northern indifference has undermined such legislative efforts. Why? Because lynching had remained a powerful terrorist tool to maintain white supremacy. The passage of the Justice for Lynching Act is a reminder that change in America is painfully slow. This legislation took more than 100 years to pass. Despite a long-standing recognition of lynching immorality, ultimately reminding us the persuasive way in which racial violence has been ingrained in all aspects of the law. Lynching thing that just happened this week. We'll be talking about that.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll talk about that in a minute.
Warbuck is in the house. What's up, Warbuck? Look, check us out. All y'all people who's on Facebook, just join Andy Lee Facebook to check out the show. The Queen Mother Lois Show. That's right, Black History. Since the Black History Month, we talk about Black History every day. But we talk about Black History when she's here every first of the Saturday anyhow. But this time it's Black History started yesterday, and today is the second. So we're going to keep it rolling all week. I'll be talking about it on my days, on Thursday and Friday. And then Saturday will be the other crew doing the same thing. So we're going to keep back and talk about...
Guy who's acting in Empire.
Right, I heard about that.
They have a video camera of him walking back into his building after he went to get a sandwich at Subway. And when he came back, he had, they said, a thin rope around his neck. A lynching rope.
Right. I heard about that.
So that's going on, what we're talking about, this anti-lynching.
Right.
And this is going to be done to a person in the year 2019. That don't make any sense.
No, it don't. What's up, Wayne? Wayne Oliver's watching us too. Keep joining in. Keep joining the Facebook to hear your history. You need to learn your history. Learn where you're from. You know, like my man, oh, what guy's name?
What he deal with?
It's telling, he's saying, if you don't know what happened.
Joe Madison?
Well, Joe Madison, in the book that he got, the guy who said it, said, if you don't know what happened in front of you, you don't know what happened before you.
Is it Dick Gregory?
No, the other guy, James Baldwin.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, James Baldwin, that's right. So you need to get his book too, yo. Get his book, or you could download the, what they call that, you can hear on your tablet. Audio book.
Oh, yeah, audio.
Yeah, audio book.
Of Billie Holiday, they call her Lady Day. She traveled with this white band, and she had to stay on the bus because she couldn't go out and eat and stuff like that.
Right.
But when she was driving in the South on the bus with the white people, she seen a lot of people that was lynch hanging from a tree.
Wow.
And so she told someone about it, and they wrote a song. I want you to read the lyrics to it.
Okay, I'm gonna read the lyrics, so let me get my little...
And it's called Strange Fruit.
Strange?
And it's dealing with things hanging from a tree.
Okay, here we go. Okay, southern trees bear strange fruit. Blood on the leaf, blood on the roots. Black body swinging in the south breeze. Strange fruits hanging from the popular tree.
You know what they're talking about when they say the fruit?
Yeah, the brother man or the sister man.
Yeah.
Pastoral scene of the Gallus South. The boogering eyes and the twisted mouth.
Bulging eyes.
Oh, bulging eyes
yes.
and the twisted mouth killing us. The scenes of Mongolia, sweet and fresh. Then the sudden smell of the burning flesh. Here's a fruit for the crowd to pluck. Right? Pluck, right?
Pluck, yeah.
Pluck.
Yeah.
Pluck together for the wind to suck, for the sun to rot, for the tree to drop. Hear the strings and a bitter crop. Wow. Ain't that something?
Just saying.
That's real sad.
That's what she seen with her eyes. And do you know that Jussie Smollett, he sung that song 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
If you go on YouTube, type in his name.
What's his name?
Jussie Smollett, the guy, the black guy on Empire.
Oh, he sung this.
He sung this song 2 years ago.
Whoa.
I didn't bring my tablet out here, but I could have showed it.
Oh, okay. I'll
Yeah.
go get it. in a minute.
So go get, so go on your internet
Ain't that something?
and pull and to see him singing that song, Strange Fruit.
Strange.
And he's probably gonna make a record of it again now,
Yeah.
since it happened to him.
Yeah, that's amazing.
He sung a song 2 years ago about a person being lynched,
And this is
and then he got a rope around his neck. And the police is trying, they're trying to act
Oh,
like,
they're trying to play it,
like they don't really believe
like
it.
it didn't happen.
Yeah, so he's already famous,
But
so
he
he
has
don't need
some-
no more publicity.
Yeah, then you have some silly man, and that's why I don't give him no props. And that's his name. His name. I got his name in the top of my head, but I'm gonna bring it up on my.
Oh, that was a picture of him back there, wasn't it? Right there?
Yeah, that's right there.
Yeah, that's him
That's
right there.
And then the other one right here, this man right here.
Oh, it was Jackie Robinson, 100-year
Right, I was
birthday.
talking about that too. This man right here
Kevin Hart.
responding to the backlash, a tweet about just he said something crazy, I think.
Well, nice, but the people didn't receive
Oh,
it.
okay.
Because he had said something about gay people before.
Right.
Well,
Well,
the Kevin Hart. So when he tried to say something nice,
They bring it crazy now.
it swung at him.
But I feel like this now.
But what did it say right there? Black man found hanging in the same jail.
Oh yeah. I was talking about this
Sandra-
next. Yeah, I was talking about that next.
Yeah,
That's
go
right.
on and
Yeah.
talk about it.
Yeah, this right here. Okay, this right here we have, and I got this from Andy Lee. He sent me this stuff in an email. So I was reading about the black man found hanging in the same jail where Sandra Blanche died. So
That was in Houston.
yeah, same jail.
Yeah.
The same jail he was hanging.
Well, they say she hung herself.
Yeah, but if he's in the same jail, got hung too.
Like they committed suicide.
Yeah, this is crazy. So they got it up, people need to look it up, look on your Twitter. And
that's why the people are marching. They say it's
right.
Sandra Bland was
Sandra
murdered.
Bland was murdered, right? She was
Because
murdered.
they're trying to open it back up again.
Yeah, they got to. They got to.
What they say for Trump's former pastor, blast him,
Oh yeah.
he
there
never
you go.
entered the church door.
Yeah, right here. Trump former pastor blast him. He never entered the church doors.
He was
You know?
saying he went to church.
Yeah, he's something. It's crazy. Officially and horrified that been causing taking over. Well, I tell you.
I mean, this man was a surgeon.
Yeah.
They should have appointed him to be the Surgeon General, because that's what his specificity is. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
In the medical field.
They
And they
want-
put him over housing. He don't know anything about
You
housing.
know about housing.
Yeah.
And it's like this one they got here at Hampton University, a little demand to remove a George Bush statue from the campus.
Wonder why that is.
Something just came up. But now that you get back to your
Yeah, so we was talking about, we remind the people.
about the Billie Holiday Strange Fruit
Yeah, holiday.
holiday. So you can look it up.
Strange Fruit, that's
You
a
look-
song.
Right, you can look the song on iTunes, put her name in, Billie Holiday, and your shit.
No, I want them to hear, don't worry about the fly name, it's
Okay,
gonna
no.
be there, I hope.
Yeah, it's a little fly, I tell you.
It's gonna drive me crazy.
So you want to check on
Jussie Smollett.
Jussie Smollett.
Singing a song.
Okay,
It was 2
Jussie
years-
Smollett 2 years ago.
Yeah, I think
Okay.
it was an NAACP thing or what. Okay, Nate, now, a lot of times the young people don't like for us to talk about slavery and what we've been through, but the people of, like your generation and my generation, because you was at the tail end of it,
Right.
they don't know what we went through for simple things like being able to sit down in the park, because I lived in Texas.
Mm-hmm.
We could not sit down and use a restroom when we went shopping at the grocery store.
Mm-hmm.
It was a lot of things we couldn't do. We couldn't order food in 5 or 10 cent stores.
Got on that time.
Because you finally got them.
Got on this time.
Because back in the day, they used to have stores called the 5 and Dime.
Right, remember that.
Woodworks, Presses, and McCoy's.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Can you imagine things just be 5 and 10 cents?
Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah, 5, 10 cents. Yes, yes. I remember. Like I said, a lot, like you said, a lot of youngsters today.
They take things for granted.
Yes. they do.
That we didn't have.
Yeah.
And so, like, the people like Martin Luther King, how they gave their lives.
Mm-hmm.
And then people nowadays, they just take it for granted and say, well, I don't want to hear about that. No, you need to know your history.
That's right.
You need to know where we came from.
Right.
And it really wasn't that long ago.
Uh-huh.
Because I'm 2 generations from being a slave. My mother's my grandmother was a slave. My grandmother was born a slave, so I'm two generations from being a slave. So I appreciate that because like I probably would have died the personality I am. I would have been a little bit rebellious. So they would have got rid of me.
Yeah. I hear you. I hear what you're saying. Like you say, you was the right one.
You too.
Like you say, you was the right. You was the right.
That's me alone, man.
You want my tablet?
No, my tablet. Okay, so anyway, when the people traveled, they had something called a Negro Motorist Green Book. Yeah, if you travel. Because this told you where you could buy gas at. You can buy gas everywhere.
Wow.
They had a book to tell us where we got to go get gas.
Where you can buy it.
Wow.
Because you couldn't buy it everywhere.
Ain't that something, people?
You wasn't allowed to.
Wow, that's something.
Yeah, you wasn't allowed to.
They had a book.
Yes. I'll tell you where, because, okay, you can pull up just a small bit while you sing that song.
All right.
The Negro Motorist Green Book, at times styled the Negro Motorist Green Book, or titled the Negro Travels Green Book. Okay, write that down in your notes. The Negro Motorist Green Book.
Ain't that something?
Was the annual guidebook for the African American road trippers, commonly referred to as simply as the Green Book. It was originated and published by New York City Millman.
Millman?
Yeah, he wrote it because it was the need for it.
Oh, black mailman.
Yeah,
Ain't that
yes,
something?
yes,
We invented something else.
yes. From 1936 to 66, during the era of Jim Crow laws, when open and often legally prescribed discrimination against non-whites was wise people.
Right.
Although persuasive racial discrimination in property limited black car ownership, the emerging African American middle class bought automobiles as soon as they could, but faced a variety of dangers and inconveniences along the road, from refusal of food and lodging to arbitrary arrests. In response, Green wrote his guide to services in places relatively friendly to African Americans, eventually expanding its coverage from New York to much of North America, as well as founding a travel agent. Okay, now as a child, I had a neighbor who brought like guitar Washington and the people back in the 60s, in the 50s. So this person lived 2 doors from my house, and so since he promoted acts that came to town, they stayed at his house.
His house.
Yeah, because like a lot of places didn't have hotels for black.
So everybody stayed at his house.
Yeah, but the people he brought to town.
Oh, brought to town. Okay, the artists.
Yeah.
Ain't that something?
Because because they couldn't stay at no white hotel.
Wow.
When she sung it in Las Vegas, she had to use the back door to come in. The elevator where they bring the food in.
Right.
She wasn't allowed to come in the front door.
Until French announcers spoke up.
Yeah, because that was when she made that movie.
She made a movie. What's her name?
Carmen Jones. Carmen Jones.
Oh, Carmen Jones.
Yeah. Don't you remember she was dancing and singing?
Oh yeah. That little dress.
Yeah. Dark the
Right.
Yeah.
Ain't that something?
She had to use the back door. They wanted Sammy not to stood up for him.
Right.
Yeah.
No,
So that really wasn't that long ago. When we're trying to tell you,
right.
this has all happened in the past 50 years. That black people that wasn't treated as a citizen of the United States. We didn't come here voluntarily.
Right.
They brought us here.
Yeah.
So you should, when you bring somebody to your house, you should treat them right. We was invited to your house.
Right. That's true.
We was invited to your country.
Yep.
And you're not treating us right.
No.
You make
Leave us alone. That's the bottom line. Don't like us, leave us alone.
Okay, so Nate, I remember as a child, if I wanted a hamburger, I worked at a drive-in restaurant, made milkshakes and stuff for the customers, but I couldn't go there and order a hamburger.
Oh, so you couldn't go to the
I couldn't go to the front door
the back door.
and order a hamburger.
Always the back.
I had to go to the back door. I want, and I said I would like a hamburger, please. And I gave them the money, and they gave it to them.
And the leaves were watching.
To the other people in the front, because they didn't want to touch our hands. You know, they didn't want us to hand them no money.
They're gonna turn black.
Well, I'm gonna tell you one thing. Now, a lot of people don't know this, but back in the 50s, they didn't like Jews either. Because my boss, I wasn't allowed to wait on a white person, but when a Jew came in, she tell me, "You go wait on that Jew. I don't wait on Jews."
Wow.
Yeah.
That's something.
So Jews were treated like black people at one time.
Right.
But see, they done forgot that because now, you know, they're pretty mean to the Palestinians and all that kind of stuff like
Right.
that. They treat the Palestinians like black people over there. You know.
Right.
But yeah, they was treated very badly here in the 50s because I went home one day and asked you. You know, I don't know why they don't like me. But that's what I used to want as a kid because I was always an inquisitive person.
Right.
But that's what they used to have signs that said no Jews and no black people and no dogs.
Ooh, dog.
No dogs. Not welcome.
Oh, man.
Jews, black people,
And dogs.
Mexicans, and dogs are not welcome.
Who's the dogs? Regular dogs?
Just a regular dog. We were classified as along with the dogs.
Right. So no Jews, no blacks,
Uh-huh.
no Chinese.
Well, at that time, he was called Negroes.
Oh, Negro. Okay. No Negroes. No
Mexicans.
No Mexicans.
And no dogs.
No dogs. And no Jews.
You know, if you go down to the Crenshaw Mall, they be showing the signs. They got signs.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they had signs. We went to the Smithsonian.
Yeah, because they say blacks not welcome
Yeah,
and
went
stuff
to
like that.
went to the Smithsonian. They had all that.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you said, today the kids don't know that.
They don't know how far we.
Right.
They have benefited so much and don't know and don't care
But they better care.
about what Martin Luther King and John Lewis got beat on the bridge.
Yeah, John Lewis. Yes.
Yes, you know, yes. You gotta show appreciation and the parents gotta tell their children and grandchildren something about the history
Yep, they do. Got to.
of our people, because I'm gonna tell you one thing, the Jews tell their people
Yep, all
about
the
their
time.
history because they have like a celebration every year. Because I worked for them serving a party one time, and the whole family would sit down at the tables, even to the babies, and they would tell about their history.
Yeah, that's right. They do that.
And it's an oral history got to be passed down. They want to know what they went through.
Right.
So all we're trying to do is tell what we went through, because the Jews call themselves a Holocaust, but what you think? They don't want us to talk about slavery.
Oh, no, oh yeah.
That was a Holocaust for us.
Yeah.
They want to talk about how many people was killed, but people was killed with us.
Right. And you know, and what's amazing, they could use the N word,
Yes.
but when it comes down to the Jew word, you can't use that word at all.
Well, you know what? I heard about a girl from one of the islands said that she could say the N word because she's not a in person, and because but she is not a in person, but she can say the N word. But look at here, what she don't know her history.
No.
Because when they brought those African slave ships off, they dropped them off in the islands first before they came to America. And she don't realize how stupid she sounds, and she's very famous.
Wow.
I'm gonna tell you who it is during our break.
Okay. And I told everybody else.
Yeah, she used the N word, even though I'm not an N person, because I'm from the island. Yeah, you from the island, but that's where they dropped the slaves off first before they came to America. Because, you know, I had the map up here that showed you that South America was closest to Africa than the United States.
Right.
Remember, we showed you on the map.
Yes.
So they were dropping off slaves everywhere. Because they worked on plantations. Remember, they worked in Haiti?
Yeah.
Because Haiti revolted against slavery first. I'm gonna have to talk about that one day.
Yeah. No problem. We got
A
it.
guy called Jean Claude and stuff. But they took the island. They fighted Napoleon. You heard who Napoleon was, huh?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. He was very famous. Napoleon Bonaparte.
Right. I heard of him.
Yeah.
I heard his name.
And Haiti been suffering ever since because they beat France.
Right. I heard about they got mad and Haiti is taking the falls and that's why things ain't.
They've been punishing Haiti ever since.
For a long time.
Ever since the 17th century.
Long time.
And they was paying some kind of tax to France.
Yep.
Because you know they took their land back and everything, you know, and they chased the people away.
Mm-hmm.
So this guy named Green, he published the Green Book to avoid such, because when people were driving, the businesses refused to serve them or repair their vehicles, and threats of physical violence and forceful expulsions from whites only sundown town. Now they used to tell people you have to be out here by sundown. Sundown.
So by sundown, yeah.
Well, really, a lot of places in the South,
They still do it.
you weren't allowed to be walking the streets after sundown.
Yeah, I heard some of the places still do that.
Yeah, you was in danger of your life.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was sundown. And then if you walked on the sidewalk, and another person of another race was coming towards
You had to
you,
walk across the street.
you had to get off that sidewalk.
Yeah, I heard about that too.
Mm-hmm. Now I don't know how long New York and California been free, but I came here in the 50s to California, and when I got on the bus, my son was, an infant, and the white man to sit down there, and I was totally shocked because in Texas, where I was from, we was only entitled to one seat, and that was the back seat.
Wow.
And
Oh yeah.
if a white man got on the bus, and I was sitting on one of those side seats, he would tell me to get up. He wanted a seat, and I could be holding my baby. Who wasn't entitled to sit down? Just one seat, the back seat.
So one seat in the back.
That's it. The back seat, the long seat.
Where the motors at?
In the back.
Yeah, it's on the way in the back. He's a motor.
Yeah, it's only one seat. That's the only seat we was entitled to.
And hold on.
Yeah.
So okay, the bus have one back seat, and
Yeah.
all the rest of the seats was for the white people.
They was entitled to all those seats. Sit down.
Okay,
But
so
the white person got on.
you have to go in the back.
What they would do is they would sit like 1 2 seats so they could take up all the seats.
That's what I'm saying.
And they would have a right to walk up to me and tell me to get up if I'm holding my baby, because they was entitled to all the seats. So when I got on the bus here in California and this white man got up and gave me a seat, boy, I was shocked. I never seen it before, and that was 1957.
Wow.
And when I went to New York in the 40s, we was able to sit on the bus, and go to restaurants. We couldn't go to restaurants back in the South.
So the South was worse.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know how long New York been free.
Oh, I don't know.
I wasn't. Y'all weren't treated like we were. They're acting ignorant right now, but I'm talking about
Right.
like long time ago.
Yeah,
Y'all was like free people.
they acted ignorant because they had a silly well, it's still racist still in the world,
Yeah.
but it wasn't out like it is now. It's out now because we got a silly orange Cheeto in the house.
So if a person was born in California, they don't have no idea what it was to
what it
live.
was.
Yeah, because they was always entitled to sit in the seat. Back in the South, we couldn't go to restaurants. You ever heard of a place called a beer joint?
A bill joint?
Beer joint.
Bill joint.
Okay, that's what they called back in the day, a beer joint. That was when, what black men went to go drink their beer and whatever.
Oh, okay.
They called them a beer joint.
A bill joint.
You like B-E-E-R.
B-E-E-R.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, and see, at the beer joint, this is where they fried fish and made sandwiches and
Oh, that's what
shrimp and stuff. So if you wanted to eat, you had to go to a beer joint
To
to
go
eat.
eat. Okay.
My mama never went out to eat in her most of her life. she didn't go to no beer joint. You know, she was always in the church.
Right.
So she, you know, she went to a beer joint to eat fish dinner. The church people would have talked about her, so she never went to that.
We got a man named Ruben Wilson. What's up, Ruben? How you doing? You seen us Flip Something feature Donnie B, a music video. Okay, we'll check it out in a few minutes. Tell your friends to check in on Andy Lee, Facebook, let all your friends know about it. And don't forget the shows coming tonight. The True School show starting in HD 225. Independent playlist. A lot of people don't know when I say independent playlist. So that's an independent artist that's not signed with nobody. If you sign with somebody, I won't play your music. If you know what I'm saying. So be aware. So Ruben Wilson, tell your friends. Thank you for checking in, and I will check out your YouTube. Okay, so we're gonna play a song and take a break, and then we'll get back on to the next things about that last.
Yes.
We do that one last.
Let's coming up. I'm gonna let you read something you don't like.
All right. Okay. Let me turn on. Get this thing off my screen. Put the music on. What's going on by Next Key 225.
Next key in the house. 2004. Let you know what's going on. The melody of my voice and number one top choice. I'm with the rhythm dedicated to all the people. A black, white, Puerto Rican, Chinese, the language. Gotta make it quick, and I'm sick, and I'm tired, and I'm sick. The news that they use, unused, and abuse, the drugs they use, the gun they choose. But society trying to find solution, so it left up to me. Get the crowd height, and hopefully might just see the light. A bit more than lights, than a rock and a mic with a fake gold chain and a gun in the night. The gold I like is the gold to the truth. If you know I got no, you gotta believe. I do the super
They gotta be singing.
I stand and be strong with the money, figure out what.
Oh, James Baldwin, yeah. He was very popular in the 50s and 60s.
There are things I want and things I need. I have to have a family to proceed. When I was in need, it wasn't nobody there. It took a little while, but my family shared their emotions, their feelings, their love and their joy. The problem I have will slowly be destroyed. The hardest to get my family stare. Me away from the negativity to the positivity. Ain't a cat on earth to get with me. God bless me. The devil cannot trust me. Step in my path and you might get that G. Yeah, New York, LA, Arizona, Atlanta.
Con mi gente en el barrio. ¿Qué está pasando? En mi gente.
What's going on with love and its problem? A man took a woman, both need to suffer. I tried to show my love through commitment, it didn't work. I had the wrong appointment, no go chain, didn't sell cocaine, didn't call out her name, but the bang remained, and I'm alone. Where's my lady? And I'm one girl, come in my life, be my child, be my wife, share my love, my faith, my dream. A perfect love, oh so it should seem. What should I do? Or what should I start? Or what should I do to catch her heart? But regardless, whatever, I must stay strong and still wonder, man.
¿Qué está pasando? En este mundo que es nuestro. ¿Qué está pasando? Con mi gente. Está pasando con mi gente.
All right, we're back with the show, The Black History of Queen Mother Lois. If you want to check out her YouTube videos, you go to YouTube and Queen Mother, Queen Mother Lois Show. Then, if you want to see it, go to the website, DNAradio.net. You see a picture moving around, click a picture, all of YouTube will come up. You'll read from the day she started to now. So you can hear from the first
December
beginning.
of 17.
Okay, December of 17.
No, November.
November of 17.
1917.
1917. I mean, 2017.
Yeah,
2017. 2017. Yeah, if it was 1917, boy, we were good already. So, so 2017. So check it out. You know, you go to the YouTube video, or you can go to DNAradio.net. Internet, right. The website, right. The website, and you can check out the pictures go by, click a picture, see all the shows from the first 2017 to now. Then you'll catch up on your history, because what she's saying then is happening now. So that's what you got to do. If you don't want to read, watch the video. Some of you don't want to read, so might watch the video.
Yeah.
And put your earphones on, still play your game, and you still get here.
And then when we talk about, you have something to discuss with other people.
Right.
Yeah.
That's it.
You have a conversation.
That's there you go.
You know, because a lot of times people go somewhere and they don't study any information.
Right.
And they just talk about the same old junk. You know, be informative. Bring something to the table.
Yeah. If you don't want to read, that's what you could do. You could listen.
Yeah. So first of all, let me ask you, is there anything you want to talk about?
I just had the main to talk about this is main 42 of Jackson Robinson. They're gonna have he's been 100 years, and he's right now he's been 100 years old.
Yes.
And they're gonna all the ball players and baseball stars gonna start wearing his number. They're gonna do something.
What's his number?
The number 42.
42.
But they're gonna celebrate it all year.
That's wonderful.
For the whole year. So just that one day will be the whole year.
So I'm gonna see Nate. Can you guess this person?
Okay.
The box office king and Trump golf antagonist beat a crack addition to build a film career, unrivaled in modern stardom. And the 70-year-old glass actor aims to work well into his 80s if the rest of Hollywood can afford him. He said, "I'm a gunslinger now." He arrives exactly on schedule, not a minute early and not a minute late, and come dressed in character. Armani cashmere shirt. There are no formalities, no handshakes, and no highs. Nice to meet you. He simply strolls into the restaurant in Midtown Manhattan, a condo he shares with his wife of 38 years, Tanya Richardson, who's currently starring in Capitonia, a Broadway adaptation of To Kill a Mockingbird. And he slips into the corner and buries his face behind a menu, and he says, "Go ahead, I'm listening." This is how the world's most successful actor begins the interview. You know what I'm talking about? That superlative is not a total exaggeration. It's been scientifically celebrated. His 70th birthday is the most influential actor of all time, according to a study published in December in Applied Network Science that used to acronym him and measure various actors' impact on pop culture. Clint Eastwood and Tom Cruise came in second and third in September. Box Office Mojo did its own calculation, naming this man Hollywood's most bankable star. His 120 plus movies.
Man, it's a plug.
And the Star Wars part
I know you're talking about.
to art house hits like
Okay.
Pulp Fiction.
Yeah, he's that's
to camping hits. Snake
I know
grand
you're talking
total
about. He
of
got that commercial.
$576 billion.
Yeah.
He have earned a grand total
Yeah,
of.
he got that commercial.
Okay, his movies have earned a grand total of $576 billion at U.S. box office, well ahead of Harrison Ford, $496 billion, and Tom Hanks, $406 billion, and a staggering $13.3 billion worldwide. When you want to make a movie, You go to the bank when you want to borrow money,
Mm-hmm.
and you tell them who's gonna play in this movie.
Right.
And if you say this man's name, they always give him the money to make. They always give him the money to make the movie.
Ain't that something?
This is a black man.
I know who it is. I can get
And
his name.
everybody love him.
Okay, I know everybody
And
out
he-
there.
yeah, he plays
everybody on
it.
Facebook. If you're listening to Facebook right now, if you listen to Facebook, I got
Who's
to
the
my
most
tongue.
bankable star?
Who is the most bankable star?
If you got the answer, send us a text.
Yeah, send us a text. Send us a text on Facebook. Who is the most bankable star?
It's right.
It's a black man,
Yeah.
and I think you know he's always have a card in his hand on TV on that commercial. I just can't get his name out.
Of course, a big chunk of these billions come from the Marvel Cinematic Universe. 9 of the highest grossing films in the past decade, in which this man played Avengers boss Nick Fury, a role he took up as a Loki in 2008, and is about to reprise again in Captain Marvel. I used to like Captain Marvel. He said Shazam.
Yeah, that's it.
I used to like the Captain
Trying to
Marvel.
think. Oh, man,
I used to buy it when it
what's
was opened March 8th, but just a few months before the superhero Class. So this man, everybody knows this man,
Yeah. Can't get his name.
and I'm getting ready to show you
Okay,
his picture in just a minute.
Can't get his name.
But he earns 8 figures a year,
Let's see.
so it's 7 million. It's 7 figures for $1 million, huh?
Yeah.
So he earns. Is it 7? So he earns 8 figures a year. You don't need an algorithm to compute just how big the first quarter this may be for this
Wow,
man,
that's crazy.
who have averaged 5 movies a year for the past 3 decades.
Ain't that something?
That's his superpower.
I can't
He
get his name.
genuinely loves to entertain people. Of course, being the most famous bad ASS on silver screen. Delivery of some of cinema's most beloved obscenity laden bonnet. The shouts of "Hey, call me up!" Oh Lord, it's Cusbury. He learned to be cool with everything. He's cool now.
Yeah.
You know how many actors go through their careers and people can't repeat one. Such as Cusbury. Okay, Big Nate.
Hold on.
Okay, so this is his picture.
Okay. Oh, that's. That's why you use that card. I can't get his name. What's his name again?
Samuel L.
Samuel
Jackson.
Jackson, yeah?
Yeah.
Wow.
He's the most bankable star.
Yeah.
He's the head of Tom Hanks.
Ain't that something?
Mm-hmm.
He's in that movie Glass. I know. I heard about that.
Playing everything.
And everything.
Everything he plays is a hit.
Yeah.
They put him in his last movie, with King Kong.
Mm-hmm. I think they.
Was it King Kong? No, it wasn't King Kong. It was some kind of Kong, huh?
I don't know.
Didn't you see it? It was on Netflix.
Sometime I have
It's
time.
this big old giant.
It was King Kong.
You think it was called King Kong?
It
It was
was
the
King
big
Kong.
old gorilla.
Yeah, King Kong. It was. Yeah, we watched it. Me and my wife watched it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, this guy, boy. he's
He
something
plays
else.
in everything that's really good. And he's one person, I watch his movies over and over.
I'm
Because
just
most time
wondering,
I don't watch
it's good.
a movie 2 times, you know. But
this guy, he's taking everybody by storm.
that movie he played with John Travolta,
Yeah,
Pulp Fiction,
that was good too.
when he's quoting the Bible and everything and killing everybody.
I need to get with him. To
You know what movie I didn't like?
Put my, here's my song. Put it on your movies, man. What's
Yeah.
up?
You know what movie I didn't like? That movie he played with, that part he played in that movie with Jamie Foxx. It was Dango,
Oh, Django.
and he played the house in.
Django. Yeah, I didn't see that one.
Oh, you didn't see?
No, I didn't watch
You
that.
didn't see that?
No, I
Man,
didn't watch that one.
he played house in word.
Yeah.
I mean, Yasa Mister.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the part he played, and Jamie Foxx killed him. That's the only role he ever played I didn't like, because that's not him.
Right.
He don't never play no
Nah, he don't. That's ain't his style.
kissing nobody
Yeah.
behind role. But he played in that movie, and he played it superbly. And Jamie Foxx killed him. Yeah, I thought you was gonna guess this one.
Nah, that one I forgot. Samuel Jackson. Yeah.
Yes. Okay, I'm gonna let you read this, Mr. Miller.
Okay.
What we got here?
Look at the title.
Okay, Mr. Robert Gallo, the man who, a patent. He holds a patent for HIV invention. So he got the patent.
He invented it.
So why he's holding it?
He invented that word.
He invented this word.
AIDS.
AIDS. Oh, he invented the word AIDS.
He invented that sickness.
Oh,
He invented that. You know, they try to tell you it came from a monkey.
This man right here invented
I know.
AIDS.
That's right. That's right. I know you didn't want to say that. Yes.
What?
Yes. Read it. It tells you what year he done it. He got it in. Read it. I want you to read this.
Whoa, this is crazy. Okay.
And they told us it came from a monkey in Africa.
Okay. In April 1884, Dr. Robert Gallo filed a United States patent application for his invention, the HIV/AIDS virus. Hold on, how do they?
I know it's shocking to you.
Okay, normally when a patent is filed and approved, Dr. Gallo was anyone who
Read it
used,
loud and everybody.
or anyone who used, anyone who used the product of invention owns a royalty payment to the inventor. Thus, holds the intellectual property law to the fullest interpretation. One must only wonder why Dr. Gallo have yet to file a lawsuit seeking from the usage or uses of his invention. As odd as the scenario may sound, it bears need for additional scrutiny. Okay. The scientific evidence is completely and compelling that AIDS virus is a designer byproduct of the United States Special Virus Program. The Special Virus Program was a federal virus development program that in the United States from 1962 until 1978. The U.S. Special Virus was then added as
a
complement to vaccine
inoculation
in Africa and Manhattan.
Read it again, that part right there. It is added as a complement to vaccine inoculation.
Yes. And Manhattan.
Yeah.
So he's saying
they gave this as a vaccination.
They gave it
in Africa.
In Africa, like it's supposed to be a medicine. To help you.
Yeah.
And then they did it in Manhattan.
That's what the United States did.
And they did it in Manhattan too.
Yeah.
New York, Manhattan.
Yeah.
Shortly thereafter, the world was overwhelmed with mass infections of a human virus, retrovirus that the difference from any known human disease. It was highly contagious, and more importantly, it could kill. So this man
invented
this.
They was gonna use this for German warfare. You know that German warfare?
Right. They took that, some of those medicine, and hit them with it, gave them the disease, and then they did it to people in Manhattan.
And then they acted like
you say Manhattan, New York.
They're saying that's what it's saying, Manhattan. Because you know some people in the United States had it.
Yeah, you're right.
But I was shocked when I found this out that this was invented by somebody in the United
Ain't that
States.
something?
Because they told us it came from monkeys. The rhesus monkey or whatever, and that's what they told us.
Yeah, but I heard that they saying.
And okay, now anybody want to check this right now. They even have the file number on it.
Okay, file number is
Let me see what it says. I had it on a piece of paper. So anyway, check the HIV/AIDS virus patent.
I can check it out. Put his name up. Just put the guy's name up.
Yeah.
Meet Dr. Robert
Gallo.
Gallo, Gallo. Put his name up, and you will come up with this.
See for yourself.
It's amazing. This is amazing.
They say the flow chart of this program and the 15 progress reports are irrefutable evidence of the United States secret plan to cull world population via the unleashing of a stealth biological microorganism that would waste humanity in light of this true genesis of the world's most devastating biological scourge. It is the United States that owes raw payments to the innocent victims. Each and every victim of AIDS is deserving of a formal apology and a sense of economic closure for the invention of death and despair. The eyes of the world are upon the General Accountant Office healthcare team under the direction of William J. Scanlon. Between 64 and 78, the secret virus program spent $550 million of taxpayer money to invent AIDS.
Hold on. They spent $550 million of tax money to invent AIDS.
Yeah.
And this man, they gave him a patent to make the AIDS.
Yeah. Just like you invent a desk and go get a patent. He invented this virus.
To spend whatever it takes to dismantle an invention that had led to the greatest crime against humanity in the history of the world. So now these people, this man made the disease. Now they want to try to find a disease.
Now they try to cure it.
The cure. Yeah, they're trying to take it away, and they're the one who invented it.
The eyes of the world are upon the General Accountant Office healthcare team under the direction of William Scanlon. Between 64 and 78, the secret federal dollars to invent AIDS, and it is not necessary to spend whatever it takes to dismantle an invention that has led to the greatest crime against humanity in the history of the world.
Yeah. That's crazy.
It was something I read that had a patent number.
Right,
I thought I had. I don't see it typed on here. I must got it on something else because I had the patent number, which you can type it in. But type in. Okay, the ones of you who have your pads and your pencil. His name is Dr. Robert Gallo, the man who holds the patent. This came out, and this came out. This was by Michael Dukowski.
www.
Blackpepper.com.
Blackpepper.com. So BLAKKPEPPER.com/GHANA.
That's Ghana. That's Ghana, Africa. February 8th, 2018.
Yeah.
But just type in the name Dr. Robert Gallo, computer who invented AIDS.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you're going to have that.
That's amazing.
You keep that for your notes.
Wow.
I said I was going to tell you something that made you mad.
Since the beginning, almost 71 million people have been affected with the HIV virus, and about 34 million people have.
And it was
It
invented.
said 34 million people have died. HIV, invented by, globally they're saying. Invented by.
I was talking to a lady from Ethiopia, and so, and we were talking about, how our country give people things, and she said,
Wow.
she said, we are very careful of the blankets that your country give us. I said, why you say that? She said sometimes things are in the blankets that your country give us. We are very careful. You know how they tell you beware of gifts sometimes?
Yeah.
This is a woman from Ethiopia told me.
Well, look what happened. They
Yeah.
Oh, wow, that's crazy. That made no sense. And this man's still alive.
Yeah. They're talking about him collecting no money off of it. Well, you invented something that kills people.
Yeah.
Why should you make any money for it? Because why would anybody pay him money
To kill
for
somebody.
killing their families and all that kind of stuff like that? You know, it's very sad.
Wow. No, I don't even nobody knew that.
Yeah, this is.
Nobody
I
knew
was
that.
shocked because they kept on saying it came from the monkeys.
Nobody knew this, man. This is crazy.
They kept it a secret all these years.
Yes, they did.
And somebody searched it up and went to the patent office and found the patent. They kept it hid not only from us,
Wow.
but other people.
Yeah.
And they talk about they don't know where AIDS come from. It must have came from the monkeys.
Wow. Oh, man. That's crazy.
Yeah. Okay. This is a question. They say black like Ike.
Black likes Ike.
Yeah. Look at this lady right here. What does she look like?
Okay, this lady,
Is she like a white lady or a black lady?
she's black.
Okay, now hold
I
the
can
picture.
tell when I'm looking at her.
Hold the picture. We have roots of ex-President Dwight D. Eisenhower. You can type this in. Type in the black roots of ex-President Dwight D. Eisenhower. That's a picture of his grandmother.
Oh, hold on, right here. Trying to see that. And people can see it. I'm too high up. Trying to go up.
We'll put it in front of you now.
No, I almost had him. I'm trying to.
Oh, you can see it?
I have to see it from here. I almost had it. Had it right close where they can see the picture. Okay, there you go. There you go. Now they can see it real good.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, they can see it real good. I'm gonna put it down.
Okay, so go to your tablets and your computer and type in the black roots of ex-President Dwight D. Eisenhower. It's a lot of things you don't know. But it's a lot of people who are Caucasian to the black people because see, like at one time, the Moors, you know, I talked about the Moors before,
Yes.
are from Africa.
Yeah.
They was from the top part of Africa. They call them the Black Moors.
Mm-hmm.
They ruled the ancient world. These Black Moors. They ruled Spain because they went over and conquered Spain.
Right.
And then they went over to in Italy, in the Sicily part, they ruled around there. And they went all across Europe. So even and the great-great-grandmother of Queen Elizabeth, her grandmother was a black woman. She was a Moor. She was a Moor. So we're going to be talking next month more on the Moors. Because the Moors ruled Europe. The Moors even went to Russia, to Spain, to England, all those places. And so, like, they had Moors that came to America.
That's amazing.
She's a black woman. Dwight D.
You
Eisenhower.
can see it. You can see it right here.
Now look at this is his mother. Now this is his mother right here. Look at her. Look at this black woman.
Yeah, same thing. Got the face.
Yeah. She had a picture.
Picture in there. I can do that one.
Yep. Okay.
Wow, it's amazing.
This is your president in the 50s. I think he was the president during the 50s.
That's what his name?
No, Dwight D. Eisenhower.
Oh, Eisenhower, okay.
Yeah.
So, because people don't realize, a lot of young kids, they don't realize, I can tell them, that
White people came out of black.
They was raping everything that came out. The baby that was mixed. And you know, some of y'all that's Hispanics, Mexicans, you're just like us.
Yeah. But these people were Moors that came out of Africa and they went over and conquered different lands in Europe.
Mm-hmm.
Because remember, they said the people in Africa was living in beautiful palaces over there like the ancient Egyptians.
Mm-hmm.
And the European people, the white people, were living in caves.
The white people living in caves.
Yeah. In Europe. Africa goes back to 3,700 BC. That's 3,500 years before century one. So altogether, you know, the country is like going on like 6,000 years.
Mm-hmm.
So Africa is in the Bible. It talks about Africa is the only country it talks about first in the Bible out of the Garden of Eden.
Mm.
They say out of the rivers that came out of the Garden of Eden, Kush, which is Africa. Yeah.
Wow.
Africa is that old.
I think that's
So that's where civilization started.
But it's amazing how.
But what they did was they covered they colored pictures of ancient people and made them white.
Right. I was going to make them white.
Yeah, because like I think the Luxor University in Africa, it was faces around the top of the building and they put white on it and some of their white is called off and they can see the
Rather
black faces. And when Napoleon went over to Egypt, he shot off the noses of a lot of those noses.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I'll still be wondering. It's so amazing that they know that, but they still hate us.
Okay, this is Eisenhower, maternal grandmother.
That's what I just showed you.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, first it was his mother. Okay, I guess his mother name was Ida Link. And Elizabeth Link is the grandmother. Born in Mount Sydney, Virginia. The only daughter of Elizabeth Link. So you just type in and search for yourself and see about Dwight D. Eisenhower, Black Harry.
Yeah.
This all stuff has been hidden. They covered up.
Covered everything up.
They didn't want us to know the truth about a lot of things. And especially like a person who have black in their history.
Yeah.
Because a lot of those people in ancient days who passed, you know, we had black people who passed and pretend they were white.
Right.
They didn't have no babies because you never know what color the baby gonna come out to be. You know, like black people have different shades of children.
We have to shade because of what's going on now.
Yeah. So they just didn't want to have no children because they was passing. But people don't have to pass anymore. But a long time ago, back in the 50s, they was passing.
The show on that note, and keep talking about Black history. Every show we'll be talking about it. I'll be talking on Thursday, on my hot reggae show. I'll be looking up this week myself some reggae started and when that started for Black history. And then on Friday, I'll be doing Black history, the all ladies nights, all the ladies songs and who was first. Like I'm gonna get that song she showed me from Billie Holiday, right?
Yes.
I'm gonna look her song up and I will play it.
I'll give it to you. Strange Fruit.
Strange Fruit.
Well, can you put up Billie Holiday now?
Yeah, let me put it up now. Let me.
Strange Fruit.
And go to my store.
Billie Holiday, strange. You say strange and the fruit gonna come up. Can you speak to your computer?
Okay. Okay.
Billie, B-I-L-L-I-E. Yeah. Okay, so holiday. Now Australian food.
Oh, yeah. How much is it?
That's it right there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna get back in a minute.
Don't play it.
Oh, that's another one. That's it, right? I'll take out my account. I got about 1.9 here. I'm gonna buy it right now. So let me go here. Boom.
Think that's it.
I'm gonna play it on Ladies' Night, Sad Friday. Give me my password at. Okay, people, we are gonna hit the show, and y'all make sure on Friday check out the show because we'll be playing for Ladies' Night. Ladies' Night, and then after that, the next Friday will be another night for men, and then after that, another night for this. We have all different nights for us to hear the Black History all through the month. But we do Black History every day. But we just telling you this month we're gonna do a lot of special stuff going on, and then Queen Mother Lois will come back on the first Saturday of March and talk about the next thing she's gonna look up and learn your history.
We're gonna talk a lot about the Moors.
The Moors, yeah, that's what we're talking about the next one.
That's a song for you.
Okay, I'm gonna keep this right here, and I'm trying to get my password to get me where I can get this song. It's right here.
Oh, and also Jesse Smollett, he also sang the song, so
Okay.
you can pull his song up on YouTube.
I'm
Strange
yeah,
Fruit.
Strange Fruit on YouTube.
Your fruit. F-R-U-I-T.
Okay, now say bye. There you go. Say bye now. Download it now. It's right here. Play it. Oh yeah, okay. Well, I'll play it on Friday for Ladies' Night. Ladies' Nights on Friday. Coming up next, the True School Show starting next week, 225. There will be the independent playlist. That's right, got a lot of new artists. Artists that's not signed with no record label. If you sign with record label, we'll play it on our rotation. But otherwise, we play only independent artists on my will be in our rotation. That will be from the time of that will be, okay, we have on, dirty music playlist, that's 12 a.m. to 6 a.m. Hip-hop, rap, hip-hop, R&B, and pop, and then at 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., clean music. And then on Saturdays, we have 6 p.m. Eastern Time, 6 p.m. Eastern Time, Love and Lust in New York City. Then after that, 7:30, there'll be Venus vs. Mars in New York City, and there'll be Charms and Wiz. That's right. Then Mother Lois, Queen Mother Lois, every first Saturday. That's right. So that's the lineup for Saturday, Friday. We will have the Doc and PZ show, and then on Friday, Saturday, 12 o'clock, right on lunchtime, you will have the Twins cooking show. That's right. The Twins will be cooking those that day. You have them. Okay, that'll be in March. So right now we're gonna head on out of here to get me started for the next show, because I gotta get started and get things going. But you all DNAradio.net, the website DNAradio.net, and you can see hit her picture and click it, and all her shows will come up. So right now, this show will be ready by Monday, where you can see this show on her YouTube page, Queen Mother Lois Show. That's what you'll be looking for. Okay? Don't forget, classic music coming up Friday, Black music for Ladies' Night. And Black History will always be all week, all month. This month will be all year for us.
Yes.
You know, all year to show y'all what's going on in this world, because there's a lot of hate. It's a shame.
Things you're not going to learn in school, we teach it right here.
That's it.
Because we're not afraid to teach the truth.
That's it. There you go. There you go. And now we're gonna go out with a song. Let's see. Tell you that I wish I could play that song, but they won't play. If I play, they won't play it on
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Okay, I see what you're saying.
yeah, I'm gonna play. So,
Well, I don't know Justice Smollett. He just sung the song. I don't know if he.
yeah, that's the whole key. We can't play because they don't know they
Yeah.
take it off. It's a song.
Well, you don't have to do. You can do it by Justice Smollett then.
Yeah, but I can't. I don't know if they let us play him either.
Yeah.
He's on TV, right?
I don't think he was like at a award show.
Yeah, they
So
might blank it out.
so I never heard him having a record on that. He just sung it.
Yeah, it's a shame they won't let us play music that.
But anyway, just ask the people to go play Strange Fruit. Pull it up on your tablets.
Yeah, pull it up on your tablet and.
Strange Fruits by Billie Holiday.
Okay, I'll play. This
Who
song.
was doing her travel. She was a very famous jazz singer. It was while she was traveling. She wrote about what she seen. Is that a show off, Nate? Or are you on the next show?
No, I'm still on. We're on our show. Still on your show.
Okay.
I'm just looking for a song I know I can play. Okay, let's go play.
Well, maybe you have to play one of your songs then.
Yeah, let's go play one you like. And
What about the African guy? You got his song?
which one is that?
The one,
Oh, let me see. You get Young Keezy. Let me look for him. I'll play one from him then. Oh, no, the other one.
oh, I see a Young Kiss.
Yeah, that's it. There you go.
From Nigeria.